Visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the winner of a $559.7 million Powerball jackpot had her lawyers claim the winnings Wednesday amid a legal battle to keep her identity secret. The woman chose to collect the winnings in a lump sum of $352 million before taxes, and representatives from the law firm Shaheen and Gordon accepted the giant check from the New Hampshire Lottery Commission on behalf of the Good Karma Family Trust. The lawyers announced the winner, identified only as Jane Doe in court documents, plans to donate $150,000 to Girls Inc. and $33,000 to 3 other New Hampshire chapters of End 68 Hours of Hunger. Lawyer William Shaheen told USA Today she realizes how lucky she is. My client does not want any accolades. She doesn't want any credit. She just wants to do good things. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports California Governor Jerry Brown on Wednesday accused President Donald Trump's administration of declaring war on the most populous U.S. state after the Department of Justice sued to stop policies that protect undocumented immigrants against deportation. The Democratic governor made the charge shortly after Attorney General Jeff Sessions intensified the Republican administration's confrontation with California. In a speech in the state capitol, Sessions accused California of obstructing federal immigration enforcement and vowed to stop the state's defiance. Sessions addressed a law enforcement group in Sacramento a day after the DOJ filed suit against California, Brown, and the state's Democratic Attorney General over so-called sanctuary policies that shield undocumented immigrants. Sessions said in his speech, California absolutely, it appears to me, is using every power it has, power it doesn't have, to frustrate federal law enforcement. So you can be sure I'm going to use every power I have to stop them. Brown called the Attorney General's trip to California a political stunt and his description of California laws a lie. Brown told reporters, like so many in the Trump administration, this Attorney General has no regard for the truth, adding that the laws were crafted with input and support from California's police chiefs, adding this is basically going to war against the state of California. In October, Brown signed into law a bill that prevents police from inquiring about immigration status and curtails law enforcement cooperation with immigration officers. Sessions said U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents carry out federal law and that California cannot forbid them or obstruct them in doing their jobs. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Japan grants suffrage to female robots, and a hypochondriac maple tree is always convinced it has Asian longhorn beetles. The following 2 statements are true. The previous statement is false, and this is the Onion Week in Review. This week, Americans nationwide were stunned to hear horrific allegations on Wall Street revealing that numerous junior bankers have been forced to survive on a mere $6,800 per week. The findings, which implicate numerous high-profile financial institutions such as Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank, suggest that hundreds of first-year bankers are constantly deprived of basic necessities, including penthouse apartments overlooking Central Park and regular company-financed vacations to the French Riviera.
Many of these bankers are 23 or 24 years old and don't even have access to an expense account of over $50,000 a year. Not only that, but some of them are making as little as 20 times minimum wage. I mean, this is truly disgraceful.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from VertCoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say.
And Aria.
Be afraid.
be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our Bit Plus Network satellite.
This is
The Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And I'm joined today by, well, my regular co-host, Miss Aria Demezio, the queen of crypto herself from cryptocurrencycheck.org. And also, well, we're joined by normally she's here on Monday. But her and Tom did a little bit of schedule switching around. We have Chelsea Snyder on with us from the Vora Method. How you folks doing tonight?
Pretty awesome.
Very good. How about you, Aria?
Great as usual.
So, wow, man! Have you guys seen the? You live in Maryland. How much snow did you end up with?
Yeah, no, we don't have any snow. The sun is shining. It's like 48, feels like 55. It's awesome here. So
oh my God.
Nothing for me. No complaints. I'm living. I feels balmy to me. I love 55 weather.
We've got over a foot at my house. Just
over
a foot.
We haven't gotten any snow this year. It's kind of a bummer. We got like an inch or something, but
it's still
it would be
snowing.
cool to get some.
It's not stopped.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's still snowing continuously. My kids are loving it because, they haven't gone to school since yesterday.
Yeah.
They got sent home early from school yesterday because the storm was coming, and they haven't been back yet. And they're just like, my son told me, he goes, "Oh, my God, Mom, this snow day is lasting for 1,000,000 billion hours."
That's so cute.
He just turned 7 a few weeks ago, so
perfect. Awesome.
Yeah, everything that's more than 5 minutes is 1,000,000 billion of whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
So
it's good terminology.
Well, you know what? I'm going to have to say here that after Obamacare, insurance premiums are going to jump 1,000,000 billion %. And you know what?
And you really won't be wrong.
I really won't be that far off the mark. This is from the Washington Post. It says insurance premiums for Affordable Care Act healthcare plans are likely to jump by 35 to 94% around the country within the next 3 years, according to a new report concluding that federal decisions will have profound effects on prices. The nationwide analysis issued Thursday by California's insurance marketplace. That's again, let me make sure I say that again, okay? This isn't Florida, okay? This isn't the Association of Republicans Against Healthcare. This isn't neocons against grandmothers on Medicaid. This isn't some right-wing think tank. This is California's insurance marketplace, okay?
I love it.
This is Pinko Central. And they're like, look, there are going to be wide variations state to state with a broad part of the swath and the Midwest in danger of what the report calls a catastrophic average rate increase by 2021. And now we need to remember, this is an act was supposed to help the poor, right? That was the whole point. Well, where does the nation's
poor insurance companies?
Where does the nation's poor live? And don't say New York City because that may be a large portion of it. But the poorest counties, the poorest cities, the poorest voting districts all across the U.S. reside where? Well, places like Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, Tennessee, southeastern portions of the state, the quote-unquote South. And the South, the people who need this health care the most, the people who you have Doctors Without Borders kind of thing, where you have dentists that come from the city twice a year because an old guy who used to live up in these hills and knows there's no access to medical care brings doctors and dentists into these regions twice a year. And that's the only opportunity these people have for dental or health care. And, we're helping those people, right? No, we've literally made it to where they're now going to have their income tax returns garnished because they didn't buy health insurance, that if they did buy, it would require 2/3 of their income. And then there goes, food, utilities, rent, just luxuries, just the luxuries.
And people wonder why Trump got elected.
Oh, it's because everybody's a racist.
Oh, yeah, no, I forgot. Sorry.
My mom voted for him. This being the same mom who, when someone had something untoward to say about the Muslim girl who was walking by at a local football game, a high school football game, she turned around as a 60-some-odd-year-old woman and let the man behind her know in no uncertain terms that she would slap the white off of him if he said anything else like that about her daughter-in-law in her presence. My mom is no joke. She's like 5'1",
mad respect for
and
her.
A little heavy set, and she used to be married. She used to be married to a drill instructor back during Vietnam. So yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, back during Vietnam, she was married to a drill instructor. And so she doesn't really have that whole, like, if you're a guy and you're 6 feet, like, that doesn't mean anything to her. She used to box with an Army drill instructor in the late 60s and early 70s, So, like, she does not see you, Mr. Bigoted man with an IT degree. You know what I mean? She's like, I will literally slap the white clean off of you if I ever hear you say something like that in my presence again. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Excuse me. And she voted for Trump. So I mean,
yeah, a lot of my students' parents voted for Trump. It's pretty interesting.
This is the same 60-some-odd-year-old woman who tried to adopt my sister's black transgendered best friend. Like, tried to adopt her. Well, it was...
And voted for Trump?
To her. Yeah, and voted for Trump.
That's such a curious thing. I mean, that's worth evaluating psychologically,
Yeah. Like, my mom voted for Trump, but she attempted to adopt my youngest sister. My youngest sister has a best friend who is a male to female black transgender person. And she's, that's just my mom. My mom is weird. In the 60s, she had Klan outfits hanging in her closet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
man, the layers are peeling back on this onion.
For real, right? So, like, in the 60s, she had Klan outfits hanging in the closet. Now, in, the 2000 teens, she's attempting to adopt transgendered children, like, don't ask me. It's my mom,
Oh, we all hope to grow as we age, right?
Right.
That's good. Growing is good.
Right. Hopefully we've been able to be a part of that, particularly, people in the libertarian community that she's been exposed to over the last 10 years, hopefully. But we'll get back into the story here about ACA premiums making us all a lot poorer when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Lord knows I know not where.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, it is another beautiful day up here. You ought to come see us. There's lots of events, lots of fun stuff going on up here. Ari will be coming up here soon. Something we got going on soon is, well, Fork Fest. That's right, Fork Fest. You can learn more about it at forkfest.party. That's Fork, F-O-R-K, forkfest.party. Did you used to like going to Pork Fest back in the day? Remember when it used to be fun? Well, what if it could be fun again? Well, that's what Fork Fest is. It is the decentralized unvention opportunity for people to get together, possibly hear speakers. Where there's just all kinds of stuff in the works in the background, but none of it's really official because, well, it's a completely decentralized effort. Some people are doing a little of this. Other people are doing a little of that. There's no leadership, though. People have just decided to take control of specific areas, raise money for specific things. Some people are going to do dance parties. Some people are going to host speeches. It's going to be a great time, though. It's going to be PorkFest like PorkFest used to be. So come out. It will be the 5 days before. So let's see. I believe that's June the 14th through the 19th. And then when you get done with that, you can stick around for PorkFest and meet lots of great speakers. Ben Swan is going to be there. So come out, spend 10 days in the woods with all your favorite Liberty folks. It's the 14th through the 19th for ForkFest, and then the 20th through the 24th for PorkFest. I know I'm going for the whole 10 days. Aria, I've already got tickets for you to go for the whole 10 days as well. So
perfect.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That includes the Shirefest, right?
Oh no, ForkFest. Shirefest it's ForkFest. It's the first festival to be forked. And we have forked off of PorkFest to create. We're the original Bitcoin.
Okay, you've confused me now. Last year, it was like Shirefest for 3 days, and then it was PorkFest for like a week.
Well, this time it's going to be ForkFest for 5 days, and it's going to be PorkFest for 5 days.
So what is ForkFest?
ForkFest is what, basically last year was kind of feeling things out, I guess you could say. And this year, ForkFest was an idea that was come up with as a play on the whole, everybody's forking coins today. And PorkFest used to be the event for Liberty folks and crypto folks. And
okay, so this is a fork of PorkFest.
Yes, it's a fork of PorkFest. And much like Bitcoin Cash claims to be the original Bitcoin and following the original vision of Bitcoin, ForkFest, the fork is the original, not the pork. So
perfect. Makes perfect sense.
The fork.
Okay, and so it's a 10-day thing, and one ticket covers all 10 days?
No, you don't need tickets for ForkFest.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It's decentralized.
Yeah,
it's
Nobody's making any money off
it. It's the fest of the people.
It is. That's right. One of the ideas we have is instead of an organized speakers list, that someone is going to raise the money to pay for the pavilion for at least 1 day, and then we're going to put the big whiteboard out with the times on it, and in the morning, you just go in and put your name and what the subject of your speech is going to be. It's first come, first serve.
So it's like an anarchist version of PorkFest.
Yes, it's called an unvention.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, come out. It'll be a lot of fun. Come out for ForkFest. If you want to do like I am, stick around for PorkFest as well. PorkFest is still a great time. Basically, ForkFest is like last year. You got to hang out with all the people who you see working and that can't take 30 seconds to talk to you during PorkFest because they're all working and volunteers that are working on the festival. All those people come to ForkFest so you can actually hang out and campfire and chill and, enjoy spending time with those people that you see are doing the organizing of the festival. So like Roger Paxton and those folks are not going to have 5 seconds to talk to you during PorkFest because they're going to be busy. So if you come to ForkFest, you'll actually get a chance to hang out with those folks instead of, hey, oh, all right, later. Because everybody knows you go to some of the conventions and there's just some people that you really want to talk to them, right? But you just can't because they're just too busy. They're either an organizer this year or they're a keynote speaker or something this year, and they just don't have the time. Well, ForkFest is where those people do have the time. They're just hanging out and having a soda and going to a dance party. And we had a really good time last year, didn't we, Aria?
We did indeed. Had a very good time.
Now, you're going to be doing. Are you going to be speaking this year?
Correct.
Yes, Aria will be speaking this year. So will I. I believe.
What are your topics?
I'm actually speaking on the name of the speech is ICE, Heroes of Western Civilization, or Modern Gestapo?
Oh, nice.
Yay.
I will be speaking on the merits of individualism versus collectivism, and essentially attacking the entire idea of identity politics and group-based rights.
Ah, very good.
And we don't know for sure yet, but Aria or I1 might be on what they call the New Movers panel, because we've moved here recently. There's also the possible Religion and Liberty panel, which would most likely be myself, the Imam here in Keene, Varen Swearingen, who is a New Hampshire native and a friend of the Free State Project, who is the pastor of Liberty Ecclesia. And then we would also have Mikey Luther, or Mikey Hallowey, who is from Jewish Libertarians. And so you'd have leaders from the three faith traditions, all who are
cool.
religious leaders here in the state of New Hampshire as well, among our own communities.
Yeah, that's always really like a nice thing to see as well, I think.
And then there's also talk of one on crypto philanthropy, which is my new major passion. Is I believe that libertarians in the cryptocurrency space have the opportunity to revolutionize philanthropy and charity, and that's been a trumpet that I've been blasting all over the place and here on our radio show, and a project that I've been working on in the background. And hopefully in the next few months, we'll finally be able to launch our first miners. All right, well, when we get back, hopefully we'll actually get back on topic, talking about the ACA and how your insurance is definitely going to go up.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, are you interested in the cryptocurrency community? Are you interested in getting invested? Well, I got something to tell you about. It's called Helium.com. It's a savings accelerator, and it's powered by Uphold.com. Now, what they've done is they've designed a bot that will watch the values of multiple cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies at the same time. And then it moves your money when the timing is just right. You just fill up your account with a bank card or with your own digital wallet, and then you just set it and forget it. It's like the crock pot of crypto. Helium, it allows your money to move you. So go on over to helium.com. That's helium with an E.com /CTF. HELEUM.com/CTF. And get a great offer for being a Call to Freedom listener. Now, we've been talking about this story here, and we've got Chelsea Snyder of the Vora Method and Aria Demezio from the cryptocurrencycheck.org. We're talking about this story here from the Washington Post, where California's insurance marketplace, California, man, California, of all places, is saying, well, the South and the Midwest are going to see catastrophic increases in their insurance premiums. I'm talking like 94% sometimes. According to the analysis, the largest single impact will come from eliminating, starting in 2019, the ACA's penalty for Americans who violate the law's requirement that most people in the United States carry health coverage. That change alone, part of a massive tax bill Congress adopted in December, can be expected to increase premiums by 7 to 15%, depending on the state, and in as much as 10% each of the following 2 years. Also contributing to escalating rates are the Trump administration's decisions to shorten the time the sign up for consumers to buy ACA health plans and to severely curtail marketing and other activities to encourage people to sign up. The report anticipates a smaller effect from the administration's proposal to make it easier for consumers to buy two kinds of health care plans with lower prices and skimpier benefits than the ACA allows. So they're going to up rates because people can buy cheaper plans. The effect's going to be the individual market will be poor. People will get subsidies, and sick people who buy no matter what, said Peter V. Lee, executive director of Covered California, a state-run ACA marketplace that sponsored the analysis. The middle class will be priced out of insurance in about a third of America.
And that's the key point every time.
Lee said the 3-year increase, up to 94%, this analysis predicts, probably will be the greatest in conservative states whose insurance regulators do not step in to block the two kinds of low coverage plans the administration is trying to promote.
Also, this 94% is on top of the already existing increases that have happened over the past several years.
Yeah.
So it's not just 94% from pre-ACA. It's 94% up from now.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got your premium you're looking at now. So go look at your premium, right? Okay. Now multiply that by 0.94.
Well, basically just, multiply it by 2.
Right?
That's what you're getting here.
Multiply that by 2, and that's your insurance premium in 3 years. A la the Affordable Care Act.
Best name ever. Absolutely the best. If we just call it affordable, can it just be affordable? Is that, let's make policy like that. This is a good plan.
Well, the best policies are those that are based on how we feel.
And also impossible to understand.
Oh, my God. I just look at this and I can't believe. Report first to synthesize other forecasts of the impact of different moves taken by the Trump administration and the Republican-led Congress on the health care law. The review of other studies was led by the chief actuary of Covered California. Look, this is how we end up with federalized single-payer health care.
This is how we end up with a lot of things, but the biggest thing that they seem to be suggesting is that the reason why everyone has to pay so much is because some people want to pay less, and that's not fair. And so because they want to have a cheaper plan, now everybody has to pay more. I mean, this is just like the nonsense that you walk into when you get a plan like this. This is what it promised to be in the beginning. It is what it has proven to be now, that you cannot have anybody who wants something cheaper, and therefore there will never be anything cheaper. Or anything that's cheaper is going to be outside the law, or some variation of the law, or just some nonsense, And that's what happens. That's what this is literally saying. People want to pay less for health insurance, and because of that, other people have to pay more. But that's not how it's supposed to work at all. That makes no sense at all.
Oh my God. I'm just kicking around what a liberal. Damn. Come on, you socialists. What about my free stuff?
Yeah, seriously, why do we have to pay more? I thought we were supposed to get stuff for free here.
For real, yo. I'm trying to read the Washington Post, and it's like, you already read one article. If you want to read another one, it's $1. And I'm like,
evil capitalists.
For real, yo. I want to, when you have stories with titles like, I would have been a school shooter if I could have gotten a gun.
Oh, Barbara.
Yeah.
So is it this person is admitting that, if they had they don't have the moral center to not be a school shooter if they had a gun?
Right.
Yeah, cool. Let's put them in the loony bin right now. Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's blatant psychopathy.
How actresses who are just starting out are pressured into creepy nude scenes.
No, don't browse the headlines.
Oh
one of the other things.
Don't read them like that. At least
here's a gun control measure both sides can get behind, and it works.
One of the things that was actually related to the ACA, by the way, Idaho apparently has been essentially saying, yeah, we're like not going to follow the rules anymore. And the governor gave them creative, quote unquote, creative freedom to create plans that, like, as long as they offer one ACA compliant plan, they can offer like other plans to their people now. So it's always good to see a state just giving a very nice, polite hand gesture to the federal government and doing its own thing. Yeah, so great, right?
I totally have to hijack this conversation now just because, okay, so a teen was fatally shot at an Alabama high school Wednesday in an accident. The shooting occurred in a classroom at Huffman High School during the school's afternoon dismissal. We are not just talking about some person. We're talking about losing a part of our future, blah, 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 blah. Another student, 17-year-old, suffered a gunshot wound to his leg during the shooting. A result of the shooting, officials closed the school to conduct a safety sweep because metal detectors had failed to keep a gun out of the classroom. An accidental discharge with video footage. We're not saying he shot her. We're not saying he didn't shoot her. We're saying these questions we need to ask ourselves so we can determine exactly what happened. Now, that's from the New York Post. But if you see the same story coming from CNN, the headline is 2 shot, 1 killed.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Republicans back a plan for universal lawn care, and an RC car works up the courage to approach a group of girls. And now a recap of the week's news for those who like to waste their summers surfing the internet. Fall, the long-running series of shorter days and cooler nights, was canceled this week after nearly 3 billion seasons on Earth. The classic period of the year, which once occupied the coveted slot between summer and winter, will be replaced by new stifling humidity levels and near-constant sunshine. A shiny, bobbing object in the water is generating fascination among members of the fish community, who have described it as pleasingly wiggly and minnow-esque. Aquatic experts say that decisive action must be taken against the object very soon. In local news, just when 27-year-old Andrew Sheets didn't think his vacation could get any better, a rerun of Spin City came on. And in other headlines, a bee stuck between the screen and front door is going nuts. And a water skier lets go of the crossbar to greet those not currently water skiing.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees!
What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And if you are hearing us internationally, we are coming across the ether and the airwaves all the way across the earth to sub-Saharan Africa live via a free-to-air satellite system. It's another beautiful day here, a foot or more of snow on the ground. And, well, we've been talking about the ACA and how it's going to increase your premiums. Well, just an insane amount. And then after that, story came across, said that, well, turns out there was another shooting. But this was an accidental shooting. But, of course, that doesn't stop... Well, that doesn't stop CNN from one dead, another hurt in Alabama school shooting. Time Magazine, 17-year-old girl shot to death at Alabama high school. New York Post, college-bound senior killed in accidental school shooting, hoped to be a nurse. See the difference there? See the difference?
The specific use of the word accidental?
You know? 17-year-old girl
shot to death. The use of the actual facts.
Yeah.
Is that the difference?
17-year-old girl shot to death at the Alabama high school. That's Time Magazine. One student dead, another hurt in Alabama school shooting. CNN. And then, of course, New York Post actually saying, actually, it was an accidental shooting. It's a sad thing. That person was hoping to be a nurse. And that's it. Yay! I mean, is it really that hard to just use one extra word? I mean, you guys went to journalism school like you were writers. You're supposed to be writers. Is the English language just that difficult for you? Can you not use that many adjectives?
Probably not. I actually initially trained in journalism during college, and they don't really teach you how to write as much as, well, at least they didn't at that school. It was more about finding ways to subtly insert your opinions into the article with specific word choices.
Wow.
Like instead of... It would take me a minute to come up with a really good example, but instead of just saying something like the dog ran in the park toward the child, you would say something like the dog rampaged toward the child.
Oh, right. Yeah. I didn't have that experience. I took journalism in high school, and we were encouraged to write a lot, and then that was more than likely because the journalism teacher was also the freshman English teacher. So if you were a freshman and you took English, you had the same teacher as we had for journalism. And she didn't want us to shy away from controversy. But she never really told us, like, no, if you want people to change ideologically to fit your viewpoint, like I've never seen that.
Well, it's changed a lot over the years. A friend of mine was in college just a few years ago, and she was telling me how the leadership definition had changed among the student body to where it was no longer about leading people and doing what was best for everybody. It was about how to manipulate the masses to support your agenda. And that was essentially the new definition of leadership that they were using.
Wait, that who was using? And for what purpose?
Her student body council.
So they were saying, if you want to be a leader, this is what you should be, and then that's how they were selecting candidates?
No, the student body council was saying that, leadership to us is manipulating people to support your agenda.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of being about leading people and guiding them and showing them to a better way or anything along those lines. It was about just exploiting their psychological weaknesses until they were either too scared or too timid to dissent.
That is one style of leadership. It's usually not so positive, but it is one style.
Well, yeah, now, the number one thing for leadership is just that people do what you say.
Or are too afraid to speak out against you.
Yeah, exactly. You put you need the true leader now isn't a leader because they're a leader. They're a leader because they've embedded themselves like a tick deep enough that removing them will actually cause irreparable damage to the body. Basically.
I feel like that's pretty accurate.
That they're like a tick that's embedded themselves so deeply that if you tried to remove them, there would be irreparable damage to the body, and you would have, this whole thing. It would hurt you. It would hurt the party. It would hurt the body. It would probably hurt your neighbors. If you pull this tick out, your neighbor's house is going to burn down.
That is also, incidentally, how most socialistic policies are put into place, such that if you attempt to remove them, the whole system comes crashing down. So no, we can't remove them. It would be terrible.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly right. It's exactly how it is. I'm just. Have you ever hit a point where you just have like outrage fatigue?
So often.
So
often.
Like, I had a guy tell me that...
I think it's called libertarianism.
Right. So far today, I've been called like a Hillary bot for criticizing Trump on tariffs, criticizing Trump on guns, and criticizing Ripple. And I've been called a Trump-tard for pointing out that Hillary sold George W. Bush's Iraq war crap to the Senate, and that I said, so she's not a murderer. She just oversaw the murder of American citizens without due process and then their children. And the response of this liberal, lefty, like, what about the children is, oh, you mean enemies of America that deserve to die?
What?
Wow.
These are the same
I have
people,
no enemies that deserve to die.
These
On
are
the record, I have none.
These are the same people that were outraged when Trump dared suggest. And now, again, I can't believe I actually have to say this out loud. This is not an endorsement of what this idiot said. Trump dared to suggest that, well, maybe we should just kill the family members of terrorists. And the left was outraged. And it's almost like they totally forgot. Well, the lady that you were voting for and you were campaigning for already killed the family members of terrorism suspects. Not even terrorism suspects. There was no proof that that al-Awlaki had ever
any of these people had done anything wrong?
That Anwar al-Awlaki had ever actually done anything. And the federal government still refuses to produce any evidence that they had, that there was a reason to believe that he filled the imminent threat criteria for an extrajudicial assassination. And there's never been anything said about his 15-year-old son and 6, I think, when she was, or 9-year-old daughter that were both droned. So, like, what's your excuse for those people? Oh, well, these people, this man was an enemy of America. Okay, well, what about the 9-year-old? What about the 15-year-old? I thought that it was wrong to target civilian family members of terrorists or terrorism suspects. It's either wrong when Trump does it and when anybody else does it, or it's not wrong. You have to make up your mind. It can't be both.
Armistice Day was a day dedicated to world peace, a day to perpetuate peace through goodwill and mutual understanding. This sentiment was lost when Congress renamed the day in 1954. So Antiwar.com is reclaiming November 11th as Armistice Day, a celebration of hope and peace. Antiwar.com has been battling the war party for 22 years and has always been on the cutting edge of technology in this fight, having accepted Bitcoin donations for 5 years now. Antiwar.com is diving deeper into the cryptocurrency movement by adding Bitcoin Cash, Dash, and Zcash to its digital currency donation options. And to celebrate, Bitcoin.com has pledged $20,000 in crypto matching funds through December 31st. Help Antiwar.com accelerate into the future with a cryptocurrency donation today.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.LRN.FM. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, March 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.50 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,326 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $27, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,790. Antiwar.com reports following reports from the Pentagon that the war against the Islamic State in Syria is paused because of the transition of Kurdish YPG fighters away from the Islamic State front to defending against Turkey's invasion. The Turkish government has formally requested that the U.S. intervene to prevent the Kurds from moving those fighters. Turkey invaded the Kurdish-held northern Syria district of Afrin in January and has been escalating that invasion ever since. This is the first stop in what Turkish officials say is an outright attempt to drive the Kurds away from the border areas. With Turkey promising to keep expanding the invasion, the Kurdish YPG has been eagerly shifting reinforcements towards Afrin, trying to resist the invasion before it gets out of hand. Thousands of such fighters have been dispatched in the Afrin district from eastern areas where they are fighting the Islamic State. A spokesman for Turkish President Erdogan says the request to the U.S. was sent through appropriate channels, adding that asking the U.S. to block the Kurds was our most basic natural right and that Turkey expects the U.S. to comply. U.S. officials haven't indicated if they'll try or not, but there's little reason to think the YPG, already a bit cross at the U.S. for not preventing the Turkish invasion in the first place, is going to forestall its reinforcements just because the U.S. tells them to. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the winner of a $559.7 million Powerball jackpot had her lawyers claim the winnings Wednesday amid a legal battle to keep her identity secret. The woman chose to collect the winnings in a lump sum of $352 million before taxes, and representatives from the law firm Shaheen & Gordon accepted the giant check from the New Hampshire Lottery Commission on behalf of the Good Karma Family Trust. The lawyers announced the winner, identified only as Jane Doe in court documents, plans to donate $150,000 to Girls Inc. and $33,000 to 3 other New Hampshire chapters of End 68 Hours of Hunger. Lawyer William Shaheen told USA Today she realizes how lucky she is. My client does not want any accolades. She doesn't want any credit. She just wants to do good things. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports California Governor Jerry Brown on Wednesday accused President Donald Trump's administration of declaring war on the most populous U.S. state after the Department of Justice sued to stop policies that protect undocumented immigrants against deportation. The Democratic governor made the charge shortly after Attorney General Jeff Sessions intensified the Republican administration's confrontation with California. In a speech in the state capitol, Sessions accused California of obstructing federal immigration enforcement and vowed to stop the state's defiance. Sessions addressed a law enforcement group in Sacramento a day after the DOJ filed suit against California, Brown, and the state's Democratic Attorney General over so-called sanctuary policies that shield undocumented immigrants. Sessions said in his speech, California absolutely, it appears to me, is using every power it has, power it doesn't have, to frustrate federal law enforcement. So you can be sure I'm going to use every power I have to stop them. Brown called the Attorney General's trip to California a political stunt and his description of California laws a lie. Brown told reporters, like so many in the Trump administration, this Attorney General has no regard for the truth, adding that the laws were crafted with input and support from California's police chiefs, adding this is basically going to war against the state of California. In October, Brown signed into law a bill that prevents police from inquiring about immigration status and curtails law enforcement cooperation with immigration officers. Sessions said U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents carry out federal law and that California cannot forbid them or obstruct them in doing their jobs. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Despite a long-held consensus pointing to the mid-20s as the final stage of brain maturation, a new study has found that the adolescent brain doesn't fully form until boys have avenged their father's murder.
New imaging studies suggest that the frontal cortex goes through extensive changes during the period of training when an adolescent boy prepares himself to track down and kill the man who took his father's life. But it's not until the boy stares deep into the murderer's eyes and then stabs him right in the heart that the two lobes fuse into a fully mature brain.
According to Dr. Laurie's findings, the myelin surrounding the teenage nerve synapses develops when boys stake out the home of their father's murderer, put themselves through grueling physical training, and fantasize again and again about how satisfying it will be when he finally makes the bastard who took everything from him beg for his life.
Now, if they let their father's killer slip through their grasp, or if they press the barrel of a gun to the back of his head and then realize they don't have what it takes to pull the trigger, then the amygdala is definitively stunted, and they'll have lifelong problems interpreting emotional information.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com on the Call to Freedom.
All right, that's right. It is time for the Crypto Hour here on LRN.FM. So it is another beautiful. I'm just looking at this picture on the back of my the computers here have these rotating photographs in the background, and one of them that just popped up it looks like I'm looking outside of the house right now. It's like the 4 inches of snow on the tree limbs and the ground covered, and I was like, it just kind of threw me for a second. So, oh goodness, wow. So anyway, it is time for the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom, and well, we're joined today by Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method, normal Monday night co-host, along with our everyday co-host, Miss Aria Demesio from cryptocurrencycheck.org, and well, tonight we're joined by a sponsor. The sponsor of the Crypto Hour, actually, Pace from Helium.com, here to give us an update. How you doing tonight, Pace? I think Pace's microphone is still muted. But
I'm here.
There we go. Awesome. Sorry.
I'm doing great. Yeah, I just trying to turn down my ambient sound here.
So, well, tell us, Pace. I hear you guys have some awesome new developments coming. So I wanted to give you guys a segment or two to come on the show and tell us about what Helium has got coming up in the next few weeks.
Wonderful. Yeah, we're waiting for a little bit of news in the next couple days, but we're going to be ramping up our development a lot, and so we're going to be seeking some outside funding to get that done. But what our development is focused on in the next couple weeks is finishing up the stop losses that we want to have in there, so that we can take this from being better than holding to way better than holding, and in a pretty safe place to put your money, so you protect your fiat value as well. And then we're going to have a couple more rules in there to jump onto rising trends. And those are the core things we're going to focus on as we lead up to our mobile app release, which is the other final thing we're working on. And so we should have all of that put in there in the month of April, May, and June, and shooting for a June or July release of the mobile apps. And it's going to be a much better system by then, something that everybody in the crypto world should take a look at.
Very cool. Now, if you're a Helium investor or a person with a question for our guest tonight out there, give us a call at 603-283-6160. We've got Pace, one of the development team from Helium. That's Helium with an E.com. You hear us talk about them often here on the air, talk about our own investments. Myself, Aria, other show hosts here in the LRN family, as well as Tom, my father-in-law. I know a lot of people that have bought into Helium.com, and there's a reason that we're happy to advertise for them. So definitely, My brain just went numb. Definitely the best performing that we have, where like my holdings have dropped 60%, sometimes more. Like I have holdings that went from 21 cents down to 4.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary thing as far as what the history of the market has done. Some coins are up since December, Ether notably, maybe Dash and Litecoin a little, but Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, and most of the Ethereum tokens and most of the market is still down more than 50%.
Yeah.
We had quite a little bit of a recovery in February, but then it reversed again with the new SEC news.
Yes.
And so that's what we're stuck in right now. This is just about the lowest. This week is just about the lowest that anybody's been. So it's a struggle, but we can count our blessings. Our users on average are not down 50, 60%. It's more like 35, 40. That's still not great, especially with something they want to to protect their fiat value.
Yeah.
But
I would say like
better than hodling.
Like I said, I've got stuff that was at 21 cents that's now at 4, where like I've only lost maybe 33% on helium instead of 70 and 80% in my personal holdings.
We don't see it put in that perspective enough. So I mean that's really good to hear. It's still sad.
It is. Well, that's because the market is in a slump right now. It happens, and you know what? I know that by the time we get through into August, it's going to turn around. You know how I know? Because it happens every year. You know why? Because there's this huge section of the year where all us crypto heads decide that we want to hang out and party together and give speeches and stuff, and we all end up going to all these different conventions and conferences all over the country. And we get crypto moving. And every year you go to these conferences, there's new coins that are being used that weren't being used before. Like Dash. I had never heard of Dash until last PorcFest.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like, no. You should accept Dash. You should accept Dash for your thing. So, we do have a question from the Discord chat. Wanting to know, is there a minimum investment for helium?
$5. That's the minimum.
$5. There you go. $5 is the minimum investment to get invested in helium. Now, what are there any new cryptocurrencies that you guys are dealing in since the last time you came in?
Yeah, since the last time we were on the show, I don't know if we'd fully added. Yeah, we had added Dash by that time. So we had Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Dash. And since then, we've added Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, and Basic Attention Token, which is so those are the 3 newer ones. So we've got 7 going right now.
It's a good thing Tom's not here. He'd be cussing Bitcoin Gold right now.
He would be.
Everybody is like, Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, they're every crypto enthusiast, is aware of 1 or 2, at least that are kind of pariahs. They're not really popular, and there's some problem with either the development or the founder or this, that, or the other. Like we're pretty currency agnostic at Helium, and that's why we're happy to be sponsors of the show.
Yeah.
We don't really have favorites.
Neither do we.
But we recognize
we
recognize the deficiencies. But because we're not holding long term, we don't care about the deficiencies.
Yeah.
So
we're big fans of Zencash, but that's just an ideological thing. They are like,
totally.
We are an anarchist coin developed by anarchists for anarchists. That kind of thing. So
conceptually, philosophically, I'm 100% in line with that. Finding coins that allow people to be anonymous and transact with little to no cost instantly. That's the whole goal. Is keeping it free, keeping it global, keeping it anonymous, and So I hope we go that direction. We are going that direction. Cryptocurrency is going that direction in general.
Absolutely. Now, when we get back here, we're going to have Pace from the development and marketing team for Helium.com. If you have any other questions for him, you're welcome to ask them via our Discord chat or give us a call, 603-283-6160, or ring us on Skype at LRN.FM or via our Discord chat as well. We'll be right back.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Juicy Juice, 100% juice, providing a full serving of fruit in every 4 ounces. Visit us at juicyjuice.com. When it comes to nutrition, kids need both fruits and vegetables every day to stay healthy and grow. For the ideal mix, your kid should have at least 1.5 cups of any veggie or 100% veggie juice, and 1 cup of any fruit or 100% fruit juice a day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
All right, Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. So it is another beautiful day here in Keene, New Hampshire, broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studios, and it is Crypto Hour. And we've got the guy that you hear about his company in the intros to each segment. We've got Pace with us from Helium.com, and he's telling us about some of the updates that are going to be coming, some developmental updates to Helium. So we wanted to bring him on, let him give our listeners, because we have quite a few people that are listeners that are now signed up and investors in Helium.com. So, and we talk about our investments here at least once or twice, at least once an episode, sometimes, more, depending on how well they're doing. So, we talk about the actual differences, I'm invested in an undisclosed amount of coins for an undisclosed amount of money. And as of today, the amount of those investments, even though in truth, because I'm the kind of guy that was smart enough to get in early, I'm still profiting. But the profits that I had have dropped 80%. How's that? Or more in some cases. Whereas the money that we put into Helium, maybe 33%, somewhere around there. So, I mean, if you want to go by percentages, it's our Helium savings accelerator is performing much better than the coins that we purchased.
So what are the percentages on the flip side? I mean, obviously the market's kind of down right now, but when you're doing well, I think your website says that balloons usually pop around 2%, but do you have bigger gains than that a lot of the time or some of the time?
Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to clarify that point. The balloons actually won't pop if they're anything less than 2%. So the average is actually, I had that here in a report that I had normally, but it's something like 20% is like the average gain for a balloon, but that takes, or I think maybe, okay, let's call it an average 10%, but it takes like 20 days on average for those balloons to pop. Now that's for the ones that have popped automatically. If you factor in ones where people have withdrawn their money because they needed to, or because they got scared of the market, things like that, the average that all together, I think it's around 8% per month of a gain. So that's and balloons take around a month or a month and a half, their lifespan.
Well, I've got one right here in my own account. It's kind of a short timer, Chelsea. It was launched on February the 8th at $153. And then it was
perfect timing.
Right.
Perfect timing.
It was popped on February 17th at $180 for a gain of my portion of the gain was $14.90.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so the total gain was about 25 or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
The total gain was $26, $27 of which I got 14. So I made a 10% increase on the 153. Well, not quite, like a 9% increase on that $150, and that was in just a week, in a week's time.
Cool.
So
when balloons pop fast, they typically pop very well with about an 8 or 9 or 10% gain. But when you look at the way that the market's been recently, lots of balloons, have to stay alive for a long time to make sure that they have a profit. And balloons don't pop automatically unless they do get a profit. So, that's just what our rules have stated.
Yeah,
the best thing right now is
I have balloons that are almost 3 months old, Chelsea, and that's just because they haven't turned a profit yet, so they're not going to pop.
Okay, and so go ahead.
Just while you get that question ready, why don't you give me one of the balloon numbers for one of those balloons that's been alive for 3 months, and I can look at the details on that balloon and tell you some really cool things about it.
What's it called?
If you have one of those balloons, Let's see. We got to find.
This
we'd
is
have to get
balloon number
your
1.
account. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, why don't you message me your email for your account, and then I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, your question was.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, like, trying to understand what popping means exactly. When it like, do you set some kind of base currency or something, and then when it pops, it like all goes into that currency, or the system just picks a currency and says this one's gonna be the best and does it, or like does it always pop at the same currency? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, we use that lingo because we call them balloons. If we were to use traditional trading terminology, we'd say we have open trades, and then you have closed trades. Like, you close the trade and you're done. You know, you got back, you did a round trip, you got back in your launch currency, and then you're finished. So popping is just when the trade is completely done and it did a full round trip back to your base currency. So that's what that means. So basically, when that is triggered is when the goal is reached to get back into your base currency. But it has to be up a certain amount for it to do that. It has to be up at least 2%. We have a couple other factors that, you know, if it's over 75 days, you know, and it's up at least 2%, and it reaches the goal and to get into the base currency, then it will go, you know, things like that. But basically, it needs to turn a good profit.
Sure. And then from there, so I have a balloon and it does its thing and it pops, and then I have some money. Do you guys just like automatically make another balloon with that money, or how does that then work?
Yeah. It'll automatically relaunch as a new balloon, reinvesting the gains. And so you can have a compound gain over time. We'll be adding a couple other options so you can, you know, prevent your gains from being reinvested and instead withdraw them, you know, so you can have like a cash account that you just draw from for your expenses. So there's some people that are going to be doing that.
I got a question here. It says, if you have a cool algorithm that can make you lots of money, normally you'd kind of keep that private. Why not just inflate your own balloons while you can, instead of offering it as a service for other people's money?
Because we started dead broke and you need money to make money. So that's the shortest answer I can give to that. That is a pretty common,
good answer.
That's a pretty common question is, you know, if you have something that makes tons of money, why don't you just keep it to yourselves? A lot of traders have this idea that if you share your strategy, then it's going to get diluted in the marketplace if everybody copies it and it's not going to work anymore or something like that. But yeah, we're not afraid of that. But I got a thumbs up. I'm reading the Discord chat. But yeah, that's basically it. Is you need money to make money. If we had chosen to get, you know, gobs of money to start with, we would have had to gone to a traditional, go to a bank or an investment bank or Wall Street or something. We just didn't want to start out that way. We wanted to start out giving our friends a chance to try this out, and they referred their friends. And here we are today.
Very cool. Well, we're being joined right now by Pace from Helium.com. Stick around. We'll be back with him in just a moment.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com.
Free Talk Live.
I wouldn't snitch them out. I would report them to the police.
Right.
Okay, now
call it what you want, sir.
Now, many states have laws about carrying firearms, even though their constitutions say that it's legal for everyone to own a firearm.
Like New York
and
State.
There's no way to ban it. Would you snitch out somebody that you knew had a firearm?
If they had it illegally, I wouldn't snitch them out. I would report them.
Right.
I got to say, you're a bad American, Ken.
Yeah, I think you're a scumbag, Ken.
You're a communist.
I'm
You're
not
a communist.
I'm a communist because I want people to be able to carry guns like the Second Amendment says.
He'd snitch on the person, and then the cops would come and infringe it for him.
Felons out there carrying guns at will.
I'm a convicted felon. Do you think I shouldn't be able to protect my wife from an intruder?
I don't think you should have a gun.
How am I going to protect myself if the guy has a gun?
There are many other ways to protect yourself than not having a gun.
You should call the cops, Mark, like any good citizen.
That way the cops can come clean up my corpse after it's all over, right?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है Helium.com.
Live from the Verticoin studio. This is the call to freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium. 4 to 7 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, you color-fied to get some free coins. This is the call to freedom.
That's right. It's the call to freedom here on LRN.FM. Brought to you live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, we're joined here during Crypto Hour by, brought to you by Helium.com. Well, we've got them with us right here, right now. And they've been explaining, the first segment we talked about what's new. Helium's got some new stuff that they're going to be releasing in the next few days and few weeks. And we wanted to bring them on to make sure that they, gave our listening audience, who are, the loyal customers of theirs, the quick update, the long and skinny, long before most other people find out. And we also wanted to give, Chelsea is new around here, and she really hasn't had the opportunity to learn a whole lot about this sponsor of ours and why we sponsor them. So we wanted to give her a chance to kind of feel them out and ask them some introductory questions. And then now we've got Pace with us still, and he's going to use he's using my account. So Pace is right now signed into my account, and he's going to explain to you how the money making process actually works. Using some of the balloons in my own account. Go ahead, Pace.
Thank you. So you've got active balloons. You have, looks like 8 of those right now. And two of them I want to highlight. So you got balloon 2 and balloon 5. And so the reason you have 7 balloons is when you put money into helium, it divides it into pieces and launches each one, every 2 days. We'll be adjusting that number over time as we simulate some improvement to it. But what happened during this crash is since the balloons can't find a good price to get out into fiats because the balloons are low. They can't sell high into a fiat because crypto is down. But cryptos are moving against each other. And that's where the strength of helium comes in to allow your account to beat holding cryptos, where if you're holding long term. So the two examples here for balloon 2, the first move 1, was into Bitcoin Gold. Yeah, I know, Bitcoin Gold, but still. You got 1.055 Bitcoin Gold out of that. When you zoom down into move 9, so that was about a month later, that was a couple days ago on the 2nd of March, you ended up with 1.35 Bitcoin Gold. So that's a 28% increase in that balloon in a month. So even though those currencies are going down towards the dollar, you got 28% more of it. So by the time it gets back up against the dollar, your balloon will be up by at least 28%. The same number for BAT. You had 323 BAT at move 4, and you had 416 BAT at move 10. So your balloon is basically up 28% in crypto balances, but it's not up against dollars yet. We're going to wait for the market to recover for that to happen. But that's good news. So you can basically see the same thing, same story on balloon 5. It moved back and forth 10 times. And you have 27% more Bitcoin Gold and more BAT than before. So that's just an example, Chelsea, something you can look forward to in the account until we get these stop losses added in. So you'll spend a lot more time in fiats, protected from crashes. You have that to look forward to. You can grow your crypto balances and beat someone that's holding these currencies long term.
Does that answer your questions, Chelsea?
Yeah. That's like a whole bunch of additional information too. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, good.
Very cool. Very cool. Well,
yeah, I got to be honest. I knew what he was talking about, and I didn't fully grasp all of what he was saying. I guess because I'm not looking at the actual user interface and the numbers and all of that.
Yeah. It's a little bit heady. Basically, what I'm saying is, over time, even though you're down, the cryptos are crashing. They're gaining against each other. So sometimes one day, if you look at the price in Bitcoin, like the price of Litecoin in Bitcoin could be going up. So you might actually get a gain between the two of those. And that's how helium works, is to get a little bit more of whatever you move into after each move. And eventually 10, 20, 30 moves later, you come back to dollars and you have a lot more crypto than you did before. So that's basically what's happening.
Side question, some of these transactions usually take a bunch of time, right? So how does that work with these trades?
Some of the transactions take a bunch of time. Well,
isn't that a thing where, like, if you buy, I don't know, I bought Bitcoin at one point and it took 10 days to get to your account or something, right? So how?
Yeah, because we're doing this on Uphold.com, it's all on their reserve. It's kind of at an exchange, kind of like on a side chain. So they actually complete the trades instantaneously. So there's no wait at all. They issue them at market price, at the middle of market price. So it's perfect. It just happens instantly.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
It's not on chain. It's not on the blockchain. So you don't have to pay a blockchain fee, and you don't have to wait, 3 to 10 days.
Well, that's extra cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. So we wanted to thank Pace for coming in and spending some time with us again today. Now, you guys know the website, Helium with an E. That's HELEUM.com/CTF to sign up for Helium. And again, like I said, if you want to get involved, you don't want to spend hours reading candle graphs and white papers, Helium's the way to go. So thanks for coming in again and giving us an update. And I'm sure the next time that you guys have a 2.2 or 2.5 or whatever release, we'll be hearing from you again.
Yep, just a couple months away.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, this has been Pace from Helium. That's helium with an E.com, the sponsor of Crypto Hour, with an update and then, a very good explanation of exactly how the Helium savings accelerator works. So thanks for dropping by, Pace. You have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. So now there has been some news in the crypto industry that's come out that I've been interested in. One of them, this is a subject that's very close to my own heart. It says here, this is from CoinDesk.com. Cryptos are commodities, according to a U.S. judge in a CFTC case. A U.S. district judge has backed the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission in defining cryptocurrencies as commodities. According to a memorandum, an order for a court case that the CFTC had brought against cryptocurrency business operator Patrick Carey McDonnell, Jack Weinstein from a district court in New York ruled that virtual currencies can be regulated by the CFTC as a commodity. Virtual currencies are goods exchanged in a market for a uniform quality and value. They fall well within the common definition of commodity, the judge wrote in an order on Tuesday. At issue in the case was whether the CFTC had the authority to regulate cryptocurrency as a commodity in the absence of federal-level rules, and whether the law permitted the CFTC to, quote, exercise its jurisdiction over fraud that does not directly involve the sale of futures or derivative contracts, according to the document. In both instances, Weinstein answered in the affirmative, meaning the case can be brought against the defendant. The judge further granted a preliminary injunction barring the defendant from further engagement in cryptocurrency investment as the case continues. As previously reported by CoinDesk, the CFTC defined cryptocurrencies as commodities as far back as 2015, a decision that has led the agency to target cryptocurrency businesses that it considers are hoaxing investors. So that means Bitcoin cannot be regulated by the IRS as cash. Yes!
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's post pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. So we've been talking here during Crypto Hour. First we had on Pace Ellsworth from Helium.com. And now we're into this story that I saw earlier today, and I really wanted to make sure that we didn't pass it up. Says basically the futures trading, the Commodity and Futures Trading Commission, according to a federal judge, has the ability to regulate cryptocurrency hoaxes, basically, and that cryptocurrency is not a currency. It's per the law, it's actually a commodity. Now, this has finally been ruled as such by a federal judge. The judge says here, a judge further granted a preliminary injunction barring the defendant from engaging cryptocurrency advancement. Okay, we already hit that. This is Commodities 2015. Oh, here we go. In one of several cases filed in January of this year, the Commodity and Futures Trading Commission sued McDonald and his company, Cabbage Tech, for allegedly absconding with customers' digital assets. The agency said at the time that McDonald branded himself as a cryptocurrency investment expert with trading advice that could result in highly attractive returns on investment. Yet soon after customers sent in money in cryptocurrencies, the defendant allegedly misappropriated the funds, according to the complaint. So now here's the question. Will government do as it says it usually, as it often does, and, basically decide if it is and isn't on a whim? Now we do have, we've got a caller on with us from Discord. We've got Pepper on the line. Pepper, do you hear us?
Yeah, I've got you.
Awesome. Now, Pepper, you are out and about in New Hampshire, and we talk all the time about how this is a crypto community, and you're out, and I guess we're just going to do this on a regular basis now, on occasion. And you are, where are you at right now?
I'm actually out and about in San Francisco.
Oh, you're out and about in San Francisco,
which is supposed to be one of the top crypto accepting areas, but I just don't find it to be true. So I've been, just as a side thing for me, just for fun and interest, and I want crypto to take over and all that. And I've been approaching lots of businesses and asking questions in a casual way. And I've also offered to help out, like if they're interested but don't know what to do. And my level, I can help them get set with a wallet and stuff like that. But what I was kind of curious about is, like I talked to, for instance, a barber the other day that was actually pretty interested. And I said, hey, well, I'll help you out, and I'll learn something from helping you. And since I can't get businesses to take it, nor have I ever had anyone take me up on paying me with crypto, I just don't have the experience to be able to say, how is it going to work in real life? Like when I know that Bitcoin, it takes too long, so we're not talking about that. But if we're using one of the more user-friendly currencies, like a Dash or something, then it's supposed to be some instantaneous transactions, but that costs more. And if you're not using one of those, when you go to a store and you buy something small, do you have to wait around for that all of those for that block to finish, or how does that work when you're out there in New Hampshire at those stores that do take it? And what can I advise them, like, to avoid the fear that they have of if they used to taking cash and they want to try crypto? What can I tell them that those fears?
Once you've sent, well, first of all, AnyPay is a really great system, but once you've sent the crypto, like, you can't go in and turn it off and reclaim it, Right. So
I'm thinking mostly about the transaction times. Like,
yeah, again, like if your coin hasn't actually come in, it's coming. What we see, like I go to Corner News and I shop a lot. Like, Dash is so fast that it's not really that big of a deal. It's less than a minute, so who cares? But like with Bitcoin,
so in real life, you don't stand there and look at each other for that whole minute.
No. Okay. Because what happens is I send, or even with Bitcoin, when it was like 2 hours, I send the Bitcoin. Say I go to Corner News and I'm buying, I don't know, some new vape cartridges for my vape pen. Okay. And I'm paying in Bitcoin. So I go up and she brings me the thing and it's got the amount that I'm going to pay. And I just scan the little thing. I put my thing in, I push send. Now on her end, she gets a thing that says that I have sent her a transaction. Now, she's not got the Bitcoin yet, but it says I've sent it.
What is she looking at? It's a regular Bitcoin wallet?
Well, you could on my Coinomi wallet, you can see it. You can see transactions long before they actually populate in your wallet. Or like on AnyPay, the AnyPay payment system, which is free, by the way, a free software system. All you need is a pad, and you can accept multiple cryptocurrencies. We've been trying very hard to get their developers on the show because they do live in New Hampshire, and I actually know them personally, but we have had very little luck. They're very busy.
Seems like they would want the promotion.
Yeah, well, anyway, but we'd love to get them on to teach our listeners about it and to promote their product. I think it's a great product, but they accept, I want to say, at least 4 or 5 different currencies you can accept with the AnyPay system. And
what do you think about as a starter for a small business, a coffee shop, a barber, something like that?
AnyPay.
Is that easier than setting up, say, a Jaxx wallet?
Well, AnyPay.
I know there are some small issues with Jaxx wallet, but in general, I started with it and it allowed me just to set up several wallets at once. And so from that point of view, it was good. Or is AnyPay easy to set up like that as well?
AnyPay is a very simple computer program. You just put it on like a pad of some kind, a tablet, and the person, the lady behind the counter rings up your stuff, right? And okay, it's $17.32. So she looks at the pad and she types in $17.32 and the type of currency you want to use. Then you pull out your wallet and you scan the little QR code and it sends the money from your wallet to hers, to the AnyPay wallet for that business.
And what I was trying to say a minute ago is that once you put a transaction broadcasting either with Coinomi or Jaxx or any of these other apps, they make it almost impossible for you to undo it. There's a replace by fee where you can, pay an additional fee to get a newer a higher cost transaction in front of your older one. Most wallets don't support that. And there's also double spending that is built into it that is designed to prevent the same kind of thing from happening. Essentially, once you tell Coinami or Jax to send those coins, it's going to continue trying to get them into a block for 48 hours to up to a week.
So essentially, they can
so there's
see
no
that
way
it's
you could
happened even if it hasn't had all the confirmations yet, they can see that it's happened.
That and that you can't reverse it. It's not like a credit card payment or a check where if it hasn't gone through, I can call and challenge. No, once you send a cryptocurrency transaction, it's gone, bro. That's why the scammers like it's such a big deal with the scams is because like once you send it, that's it, it's gone. It's
right. I'm just looking at it from this perspective of the person who's interested but a little wary that they are going to get scammed. They're used to taking a $20 bill and they're going to take a little bit of crypto, and then you just want that immediate feedback is really what I'm looking for. So that sounds like from my experience of moving money between wallets and things, I find it very slow. I have to come back and look 15 minutes later before I see something in a couple of cases. And,
a lot of them will only display it as being received once you have reached, 3 confirmations or 6 confirmations or however many confirmations it is for that specific token.
Okay.
But it's still there, even if it isn't displaying in your wallet.
So another, oh man, I just totally lost my train of thought.
For that AnyPay, is there around here the barrier to entry when it's 0 if they use iOS, because that's still what most people are using here, especially. And people who are not into the crypto world normally don't care. So is
I
AnyPay?
believe it's Android and iOS compatible. Do you live in New Hampshire?
No, I live in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Because in New Hampshire, in Portsmouth, if you go to the Bitcoin shop, you can actually meet with the developers of AnyPay in person and just talk to them right then and there about.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, March 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.50 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,326 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $27, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,790. Antiwar.com reports following reports from the Pentagon that the war against the Islamic State in Syria is paused because of the transition of Kurdish YPG fighters away from the Islamic State front to defending against Turkey's invasion. The Turkish government has formally requested that the U.S. intervene to prevent the Kurds from moving those fighters. Turkey invaded the Kurdish-held northern Syria district of Afrin in January and has been escalating that invasion ever since. This is the first stop in what Turkish officials say is an outright attempt to drive the Kurds away from the border areas. With Turkey promising to keep expanding the invasion, the Kurdish YPG has been eagerly shifting reinforcements towards Afrin, trying to resist the invasion before it gets out of hand. Thousands of such fighters have been dispatched in the Afrin district from eastern areas where they are fighting the Islamic State. A spokesman for Turkish President Erdogan says the request to the U.S. was sent through appropriate channels, adding that asking the U.S. to block the Kurds was our most basic natural right, and that Turkey expects the U.S. to comply. U.S. officials haven't indicated if they'll try or not, but there's little reason to think the YPG, already a bit cross at the U.S. for not preventing the Turkish invasion in the first place, is going to forestall its reinforcements just because the U.S. tells them to. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the winner of a $559.7 million Powerball jackpot had her lawyers claim the winnings Wednesday amid a legal battle to keep her identity secret. The woman chose to collect the winnings in a lump sum of $352 million before taxes, and representatives from the law firm Shaheen & Gordon accepted the giant check from the New Hampshire Lottery Commission on behalf of the Good Karma Family Trust. The lawyers announced the winner, identified only as Jane Doe in court documents, plans to donate $150,000 to Girls Inc. and $33,000 to 3 other New Hampshire chapters of End 68 Hours of Hunger. Lawyer William Shaheen told USA Today she realizes how lucky she is. My client does not want any accolades. She doesn't want any credit. She just wants to do good things. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports California Governor Jerry Brown on Wednesday accused President Donald Trump's administration of declaring war on the most populous U.S. state after the Department of Justice sued to stop policies that protect undocumented immigrants against deportation. The Democratic governor made the charge shortly after Attorney General Jeff Sessions intensified the Republican administration's confrontation with California. In a speech in the state capitol, Sessions accused California of obstructing federal immigration enforcement and vowed to stop the state's defiance. Sessions addressed a law enforcement group in Sacramento a day after the DOJ filed suit against California, Brown, and the state's Democratic Attorney General over so-called sanctuary policies that shield undocumented immigrants. Sessions said in his speech, California absolutely, it appears to me, is using every power it has, power it doesn't have, to frustrate federal law enforcement. So you can be sure I'm going to use every power I have to stop them. Brown called the Attorney General's trip to California a political stunt and his description of California laws a lie. Brown told reporters, like so many in the Trump administration, this Attorney General has no regard for the truth, adding that the laws were crafted with input and support from California's police chiefs, adding this is basically going to war against the state of California. In October, Brown signed into law a bill that prevents police from inquiring about immigration status and curtails law enforcement cooperation with immigration officers. Sessions said U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents carry out federal law and that California cannot forbid them or obstruct them in doing their jobs. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
America is at a crossroads on many issues, leading many to ask, is it time for the president to blow the silver horn left behind by the founding fathers in case the country ever needed them? Of course, the horn, which has been sitting in the Oval Office since 1817, has never been used by a commander-in-chief, but many Americans think now might be the time to summon our forefathers. Which founding fathers would come back?
All of them. Look, when you have a bug problem, you call the exterminator. When you have an America problem, you call the founding fathers. They know what to do.
We have to keep in mind the Founding Fathers left us with a warning. If you blow the horn with less than pure intentions, it will turn to tin and can never be used.
But a president has to take risks, have the courage to admit that his administration is not all-knowing, and blow that magic silver horn to summon someone who is.
Yes, but what if we become too reliant on them and they disappear after the next new moon, as was written?
This is the Onion News Network.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Here we go, off the rails. You know, it's time to raise ourselves. It's freedom like you never knew. Go back or past.
All right, welcome back here to the final hour of this Thursday live broadcast of The Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It's been an interesting show so far today. We spoke about how your premiums are going to go absolutely insane because of the ACA. And then we talked with Pace from Helium.com, the savings accelerator that is one of our sponsors. And now, Aria's got a story for us. So tell us about stupid people parting with their money. No, you don't say.
Genesis block, right? And it's the very first block that all of the, other blocks are chained to. And the Genesis block, the Ethereum network, is located at the address of 0000, a bunch of zeros. And apparently, more than $500 million has been sent to that address, making it completely and totally unusable from now until the end of time. The story comes to us from news.bitcoin.com, and it opens with one of the strangest things I've probably ever read, which is that atheism and tech savviness are synonymous. But that aside, yet when it comes to
I need some context for that. You gotta read.
There is no context for that. That's just how it begins.
Yeah, not correlated, literally synonymous.
Yeah, it's the strangest thing I've ever read. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, but take everything they say after this in light of that. Yet when it comes to cryptocurrencies, the religious undertones are strong, from the schisms caused by hard forks by opposing dogma espoused by big and little blockers. Crypto is basically God for geeks. As we previously reported, people have been sending Bitcoin to Bitcoin's Genesis address for years as a way of acknowledging Satoshi. Interesting, I was not aware of that.
I don't know what Satoshi is.
He's the guy who wrote the white paper that spawned Bitcoin.
Satoshi is a he or a she or a they. There are all these different legends around who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but Satoshi Nakamoto is the person or persons that created Bitcoin.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a whole lot more to the story other than that, and them pointing and laughing and, breaking it down to all the different ERC20 tokens, the BAT, the Bytom, the Eternity, the Golem, that has been sent to this Ethereum Genesis block. It says, should the project's founders still have access to the private key for this address, it may be possible to set up a smart contract that automatically returns anything sent to it. But due to its unusual numerology, however, it is believed to be virtually impossible to generate a private key for this address. Hence its popularity for proof-of-burn projects. Meanwhile, the Genesis address will continue to absorb tokens on a regular basis, much to the anguish of their unwitting senders.
Idiots.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you have an address populated in your field and it's just a bunch of zeros, that's your clue that something is wrong, and you should probably not click send. And now there's $500 million worth in it.
Wait, so that's like a cumulative total since the start?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. So
and this is stunning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stupid people really. I've kind of hit a point where I used to think stupid people ceased to amaze me, and I don't know. It's like the closer I get to 40, the more I'm like, wow, I did not think you could be that dumb. Oh my God, some people out there, it's mind-boggling how stupid some people are.
This is why I don't get on Facebook.
Facebook. Like it was.
Seriously.
Well, I mean, I was working today, so that meant I was sitting at the computer all day, and that's when I get on Facebook. It used to be I was just on Facebook all the time. But now I'm only on there when I'm at work, and that's because I'm on the computer when I'm at work, So because of that, I'm, in these battles with people that have renounced logic and reason. And oh my God, life is so much less stressful. Like finally I just hit a point where I'm like, okay, I got to close this. I'm going to do something else. Pay attention.
I mean, there are stupid people everywhere. They just seem to kind of concentrate on social media.
Well, I got blocked from an anti-Trump room for not being anti-Trump in the right way.
Oh, I've gotten blocked from so many groups for that. It's just like, yeah, you're not doing it. I'm like, okay. You're not libertarian enough, obviously. You're not anarchist enough. You're not whatever it is. Like, okay.
Well, for me, it was, well, you must just be a Bernie bot. And I'm like, because I acknowledged that Hillary Clinton gave the same speech to the Senate that George Bush gave. But it happened.
Facts
real.
are obviously.
Here's the video. It really happened, And no, you must just be one of those Bernie bot people who want to live in utopia. And I'm like,
what's wrong with that? I would like to live in a utopia.
Well, I mean, I don't see how not wanting a person who openly lied to encourage us to destroy an entire culture. I mean, not wanting them to be president. I'm like, that's not asking for, to live in the land of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's just kind of basic. I don't want that. You lied to take us into one of the biggest, most wasteful wars in American history. I don't want you to run the country. I mean, I don't understand why that's somehow utopianist. I don't want you to kick me in the balls every day, you silly utopianist.
You Bernie bot.
And that's the best part, is like, you either agree with me or you're this other thing.
But with no logic.
Yeah.
No logic attached to it.
No, I don't agree with them either. No, you do. But I'm not a socialist. Well, but you're a Bernie bot. But I'm not a socialist. It doesn't matter. You're still a Bernie bot. But I campaigned against him in 2016 and mocked all of my friends who campaigned for him. Doesn't matter. You're a Bernie bot. So, well, we do have some other cool news, at least from the cryptocurrency world. Well, it turns out Merriam-Webster has finally decided to acknowledge the crypto community. Anyone needing an established definition for cryptocurrency, blockchain, or ICO now has a trusted resource, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. On March 5th, 2018, Merriam-Webster's announced the addition of 850 new words, phrases, and meanings for existing words to the Merriam-Webster.com and to the Merriam-Webster Collection Dictionary Edition print. I'm going to have to look up, because you know what, there's some words that I keep hearing like new definitions than the actual definition I grew up with. So I think I'm going to have to go on break and do a little bit of investigating and see, well, how many words now have new meanings that are more based on their political meaning than they are on their, well, actual meaning. We'll have that and other stuff that you probably don't care about when we get back here on the Call to Freedom. LRN.FM.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
So, you want it to sound like this, right?
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, we're joined tonight by normally they're our Monday night crew. This is, that's Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method and Miss Aria Demezio from CryptocurrencyCheck.org. And, we've been talking a little bit tonight about, adding new words to the dictionary. And I see that, just as I figured, a new extra piece of a definition has been added to racism. And the original definition has been moved to the bottom. But then we looked at racism defined for children, and it's the old definition without all the political mumbo jumbo. Let's see here. The word feminism is now trending on Merriam-Webster on International Women's Day. Yay. So, woohoo.
Don't sound so excited.
I just, woo. Anyway, I had something here that I wanted to make sure that we mentioned. This is, to be truthful, man, it's really beyond disturbing. Especially when you have this is from the U.S. Department of Defense's Twitter account. And, it starts off with Hercules. You don't want to be on the receiving end of this gunship, AKA the Angel of Death. So, yes. That's what we want coming from the Twitter account of our Air Force and Department of Defense. Jokes about killing civilians.
Wow.
Murdering brown people. So funny.
Hercules.
Is this in response to a thing?
No, this isn't. This is their post.
That's just the Department of Defense. They posted that without context.
No, it's an article about their new ship. It's a picture of the AC-1. It's a video of the AC-130 gunship. A 15-minute clip of them releasing what looks like about 60 missiles. It says,
good. That's probably
primary
enough.
Missions include close air support, air interdiction, and armed reconnaissance. But it's a video with 2.31 million views on Twitter. And yes, it is a real tweet. You're welcome to go over. I will pull up the tweet if they haven't pulled it down today. And you can see it for yourself. That the Department of Defense thinks that, killing brown people is, it's comedic. Let's see here. Can we find this post? It's from a couple of days ago. I saw it today and was just like, you have got to be kidding me. This is something that we should expect to be a joke among our Department of Defense. Now, I should be censured by the Libertarian Party for saying this, right? Right.
Oh yeah.
Chelsea?
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, they're gonna come down so fast. Don't say it.
So.
Honestly, though, I have seen, I think, in general over the past, several months, maybe longer, maybe a year, just this like slow push towards advertising for the military. Almost like most of the time, the military sort of goes under the radar, but it's almost like the way you would advertise like any product, hey, buy my new, book, or buy my new whatever car that I made. They're advertising the military like a thing to be promoted like that, which is really strange to me. And
they did that a lot when I was in high school, using like Godsmack music and things like that to do it. It was really messed up.
Yeah, I mean, especially in high school, I think it's just absolutely immoral. But it seems to be more pervasive as well these days.
Well, what I'm seeing is it's like Russia in the 80s and in the 70s, like constant. They're like, oh, well, we need a parade. We need a military parade. But then watch a football game. Jesus Christ. Watch a basketball game. Go to a high school football game. I mean, it's like nonstop.
Yeah, it's like Bill.
Go ahead.
It's like what Bill Hicks said, if your self-esteem is so low that you need to blow up other countries to feel better about yourself, maybe do some sit-ups, or have a fruit cup or something. Something a little bit less destructive.
To others, destroy yourself all you want, but please don't drag the rest of the world down with you and your nonsense. Wow, I can't. The Department of Defense's Twitter account is really, really, really. Oh, here it is. Here's the tweet right here. And it is. Oh, and it's way more than 20. Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, my goodness. That was.
Want to share it with the class?
Hundreds. I'm sending it to you guys right now. I just copied the thing for it. 15,000 hearts, 5.7 thousand shares, 2.35 million views. And it's the Department of Defense making jokes about bombing brown people. Your tax dollars hard at work. Aren't you glad you paid the taxes?
Tom isn't here today.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you paid your taxes? Hercules, 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 Hercules. We just burn them up. We burn up the brown peoples. We do. It's wonderful.
I mean, this is literally terrifying. I don't understand how anybody. It's not just a matter of like, okay, I wasn't thinking, and like this came out from the government. I love the government, so I'm just gonna like it. It's not just like blind love of government. Like this video literally looks terrifying.
Well, it's
and
called
it is called the Angel of Death. Thank you. Like, how are people liking and loving this? It is literally terrifying looking. What? I just can't. It blows my mind. Absolutely.
Well, this is America now. We have become Rome. We've become England. We've literally become everything that our forefathers fought against and fought to free themselves from. We have become imperialists. We have our own aristocracy. We followed the lizard right back into the hole that we were able to climb out of. It's a shame to the men who gave their lives so long ago.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
U.S. officials assure Hong Kong that their protest is just one of many issues the White House is staying silent on, and an old guy at a hostel is down to party. This is the Onion Week in Review. Stunned officials from the Marine Conservation Institute announced this week that the past half-century of climate change and habitat loss somehow hasn't managed to take down the parrotfish. Biologists stress that despite destructive chemical runoff, rising ocean temperatures, and overfishing, the persistent little shits were somehow plugging right along like nothing had even happened.
You look at the oil spills, greenhouse gases, and God knows what else we're throwing at them, and you think, yeah, those subtropical should have been wiped out decades ago. But nope, these sons of bitches are still around and doing better than ever.
In other news, a grasshopper is dismembered by a future Supreme Court justice. A man having a great time will soon have to apologize to everyone, and Rand Paul pretends to be asleep so his dad will carry him in from the car.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And I'm telling you, you ought to come up here and visit. And you know what? The best time of the year is coming up real soon. See, just come spend 10 days in June with your favorite cryptocurrency and liberty activists right here in New Hampshire. We go to this little spot. It's called Rogers. It's in Lancaster. First is ForkFest. Don't call it a convention. Don't call it a festival. Call it an unvention. Something a little bit different. And then after that, a little bit more formal and a little more family, you've got PorkFest. Both these events are going to have tons of cryptocurrency folks, tons of liberty folks. You're going to have a really good time. So come out and see all of us. It'll be, if you want to attend both, it'll be 10 days. That's June 14th all the way through the Pack-Up Day on June 24th. If you want to just go to ForkFest, though, that'll be the 14th through the 19th. We'll be showing up and setting up on that Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we'll all start. Those of us who aren't going to PorcFest will be packing up on Tuesday and heading back home, and then the rest of us will be staying until that Sunday. So come out, have a good time with us. There'll be all kinds of speakers. Ben Swan is going to be at PorcFest. I'll be speaking at PorcFest. Our very own Aria Demezio will be speaking at PorcFest. There'll also be, we're working on getting Pace from Helium and James from Vertcoin. Lots and lots of stuff going on. There'll be T-shirts and Zencash stickers and just like crypto stuff coming out of your ears. So you got to come. Again, June 14th all the way through the 24th. It's 2 different festivals run right back up against each other. So come out, have a really good time with us. We've moving right along to this story that was brought to us by Chelsea. So I was going to let Chelsea go ahead and take the driver's seat with this one. It's talking about the largest ever study of fake news.
Yeah, so I think Ari actually sent it, but I'll give a brief rundown of it. But there was a big study done, and they looked at actually the entire span of Twitter's existence. And I think their focus was on any story that had been contested, so any contested news story. They looked at 126,000 different stories. And basically what they came up with was that just far and away, anything that was a lie or false information pretty much like dug deeper into the social media sphere. So it got more likes, it got more shares, it reached more people in every possible way. Lies cover more ground than the truth. So lies are winning the war, which is, I don't know, it's pretty interesting.
Well, not only that, but you take that and add the backfire effect to it, and that is America in a nutshell. Falsehood is what controls the discussion, and any factual information you introduce into the conversation will actually chase that person further into a web of how to validate the lie. Basically. I mean, that's people will Google how to validate something that's not true because the not true thing agrees with their viewpoint on something before they will accept information that's literally handed to them on a silver platter.
Well, almost no one is really looking to have their mind changed about anything.
True.
You know, everyone just wants what they already believe reinforced.
That's very true. Everybody loves to be right. You know, everybody loves to be right. And that means nobody can be wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say, then this is my personal soapbox, but I really think a lot of that boils down to our education system right now, where people are really not at all encouraged, like they're encouraged to have whatever opinions they are force-fed by the education system, and they're not encouraged to differ in those opinions. And I mean, and it just becomes just this very group-oriented thing. It's really tragic because then I obviously work with students who write college essays, and one of the college essay questions that comes up all the time is talk about a time when you thought something or you had an assumption and then your assumption was changed. And literally like 95% of my students are just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I used to think life was easy. Now I think it's hard. I'm like, that's wow. Like these people have never changed their minds, and most of them have never had a substantial opinion of any kind other than the ones that they've been told to have.
Oh, I used to be a hardcore communist. Actually, when I was really younger, I thought I was going to become a priest.
Wow, that is so different.
I mean, my mind has changed from one far end of the spectrum to the other. And, a lot of people would criticize me for that, but it's like, for me, I've shed falsehoods every step of the way.
Absolutely.
That's not to say that I'm correct today, but I'm less wrong today than I was yesterday.
I went from being a Pentecostal evangelical to a drugged out DJ in a gay bar to a married practicing Muslim imam, father of 8, Political views,
1,000.
right? Political views have massively changed as well. Just over the course of the last 8 years. Originally politically apathetic, but kind of a liberal. Like I came out of a public school, so of course I was a little bit liberal. Then I was like a Ron Paul Republican, but a border hawk. Then I lived through the immigration system and am now an anarchist who thinks that anything that allows a government that will put a family through what my family had to go through just for my wife not to be taken away from us at the point of a gun doesn't deserve to exist. And that our border system, immigration, all of it is bogus. And free people should be able to freely move through any imaginary line that someone else creates. If you have a property line of property that you physically own, that's one thing. But like if I'm just wandering through unclaimed land, then I'm sorry, dude. The government doesn't own that. These lines around the country that are drawn on a map, they mean piss in a bucket to me. Now, when I used to be when I started the immigration thing with my wife, I was man, just do it the way the law says, man. I'm having to go through this. I think you should too. And by the end of it, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So I've changed my mind on quite a few things. But that's because I grew up.
I think people should. I think a mind that doesn't change is a mind that is dead.
I grew up in a home though where my parents were there all the time. I had both my mom and dad. My mom stayed at home. I'd like the nuclear family. My parents are in their 80s now. Like I was taught a completely different set of values than the other kids I went to school with. And my teachers even commented on it. That I was different. My views were different. I held the door and said yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
Yeah, no one does that in school anymore.
I got in trouble for it in school in third grade. My teacher thought that I was disrespecting her because I said no, ma'am, that I was referring to her like she was old and trying to be a smart mouth.
Wow.
And my mom had to come to the school and explain to her, no, ma'am. That's the way he speaks because that's what we expect. And when he says ma'am to you, he is speaking to you with the respect you deserve as an adult. And that type of respect was discouraged out of me in schools. That's what public school actually is bringing. That's the values that's being taught.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too,
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated,
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Whiskey, won't you come and take my trouble? 'Cause I can't seem to do it on my own. In the morning there is hours and infinity. And starlit evenings come to take me home.
All right, welcome back here to the final segment of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM of this Thursday live broadcast. We've got with us tonight, we've had Miss Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method, and of course our daily co-host, Miss Aria DiMezio from cryptocurrencycheck.org. And we've been talking about a study that was recently published in Science about fake news. And basically that, well, there's an old saying, they quote one saying, the one that I always heard as a kid growing up was that a lie can make it down to the store before the truth can get its pants on.
Nice.
That's what my dad always told me.
Certainly vivid.
Yeah, he said a lie.
I think there's a requirement to be a dad that you have to have phrases like that.
Yeah.
Just stored.
Well, I have 1,001 of them, and it's because my dad had 1,001 of them. And I know my dad's old ones, you know. But yeah, he was like, a lie can get down. A lie can get all the way to the store before the truth can get its pants on. And, you know, that's talking about like people getting up in the morning and, you know, some people moving well and some people, this truth is very slow moving. Says here, according to Sarush Vizhuji, a data scientist with MIT who studied fake news since 2013 and who led the study, it seems pretty clear false information outperforms true information, and that it's not just because of bots. It might have something to do with human nature. A study also already prompted alarm from many social scientists. What the hell that is. We must redesign our information ecosystem for the 21st century, writes a group of 16 political scientists and legal scholars in an essay published on Thursday. They call for a new drive of interdisciplinary research to, quote, reduce the spread of fake news and address the underlying pathologies it has revealed.
And okay, maybe I am just paranoid, but this sounds to me exactly like these people are like, oh, this is a convenient time for us to step in and try to take more control of the news media and pretend that it's all lies, but then turn it into our particular version of lies and win forever and take over everything. And I'm just like, okay.
Right. This is the creation of the Ministry of Truth right here.
Yes, literally that right there.
Exactly. The creation of the Ministry of Truth. That's what yeah, that's what most people on our side of the fence are worried about when we see this kind of thing. This is how can we create a news ecosystem that values and promotes the truth? Well, here's the question I have. Who gets to decide what the truth is? I mean, when we're talking about immigration, are Trumpkins the people who get to decide what the truth are? Or is it the people with, I don't know, the actual statistics that tell us the truth?
Well, as the Nietzschean in the room, I would say that there is no such thing as truth, and that it's all just opinions against opinions anyway.
Or
so trying to pick one of those opinions and say this is the unequivocal truth is folly in the first place.
Or what about gun grabbers? You know, should we take the left's, quote, truth on guns and we'll make that the truth? And the truth that you hear from people on the right, or people who are in support of property rights and gun rights, their truth is the truth. Which one is it? Who gets to make that definition? Does it change from administration to administration? Because I'm not a big fan of the one that we've got right now. And I wasn't a fan of the one that we have before. And I don't know, Chelsea, you think we're going to be big fans of the one that we're going to have in a little while?
I feel like no, but I am happy to be made wrong.
Right? We will throw a party. Lambos for everybody. If we
get a Lambo, and you get a Lambo.
If we can elect a president that isn't a steaming pile of manure.
Yeah. Just not that. I mean, that's like a bar low enough to trip on, but just not that would be all right.
For real, yo. How about a president who doesn't openly state while running for office that they plan to kill brown people? They can't wait to get their finger on the trigger. So this study says it's not going to be easy.
I think that's a.
Go ahead.
I think that's a bar that we can achieve as a society. You know, at least I have to believe
We've been
that.
trying since Vietnam to achieve that bar and have yet to hit it. You know, like even the great like messiah of the 90s, Bill Clinton, was still dropping bombs on Somalis whenever he got caught with, you know, like diddling the maid. You know, anytime he got caught with anytime Big Bill got caught with Little Bill in a place that it wasn't supposed to be, just, you know, drop a bomb on a Somali Tylenol factory and, you know, go grab a cigar.
Oh my gosh.
It's good to be king.
Right. It's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. Says, this new study suggests it's not going to be easy to fix this problem. We'll need re-education camps and a ministry of truth. And
oh, gosh.
Regular trips to be retaught. No. It says colleagues focus on Twitter. This study conducted using exclusive data that the company made available to MIT. Their work has implications for Facebook, YouTube, and every other major social media network.
Well, I would say, let's say real quick that it's a problem that will fix itself like any other issue. It's Darwinism in action. You get a bunch of people who believe that, you know, airplanes really stay up in the air by magic and they don't do proper maintenance and things like that. That problem will fix itself because they'll crash and they'll die. So if you have a society of people who just routinely believe things that are false, eventually that society will crash and die. The problem will fix itself.
Well, these numbers are crazy. It says a false story is more likely to go viral than a real one. False story reaches 1,500 people 6 times faster on average than a true story does, while false stories outperform the truth on every subject: business, terrorism, war, science, technology, and entertainment. Fake news about politics performs the best.
Oh, of course it does. Because they're actually trying.
Twitter users seem to almost prefer sharing falsehoods.
Almost?
Right. Even when the researchers controlled for every difference between the accounts originating rumors, like whether that person had more followers or was verified, falsehoods were still 70% more likely to get retweeted than accurate news. And blame for this problem cannot be laid with our robotic brethren. From 2006 to 2016, Twitter bots amplified true stories as much as they did false ones. Fake news prospers, the authors write, because humans, not robots, are more likely to spread it.
Yeah, and jumping back to what Arya said, like, I think this is the biggest issue, is that people just are so entrenched. And I think that most of what our government structure has become is actually like reversing Darwinism as much as possible, making it so that you can be as stupid and ignorant and just totally inept as possible and still survive.
I'm going to say part of the problem was the monetization of Google, where you could pay for where you land in the Google search. So like on Islam, okay? If you Google Islam, you're going to get like, on the first page, you're going to get like 8 or 9 links to, you're going to get like a Wikipedia page that's crap. You're going to get 8 or 9 links to anti-Muslim pages and maybe one semi-solid link to actually learn about Islam from a somewhat objective, I'm not a culture warrior trying to encourage you to help us start, Armageddon. And it's because those websites pay for that placement. So, and because Google's algorithm actually makes it more likely for information that you're going to agree with to show up in the top. I mean, what do you expect? If your idiocy, Google will feed you your own stupidity back to you. That's what technology has brought us today, and what I call the monetization of Google. We'll be back tomorrow for our Friday episode of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We'll have the classic crew with us, Tom and Aria, so come back. But don't go anywhere right now because, Free Talk Live's coming up next.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, we can have a free market, a true